الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Over the last 3 days, we have been talking about the message of Islam and also situations where the messenger, peace be upon him, had to face the attacks and the critique of the people around him and within his own community. And also we have been talking about Badr, which happened during the 17th day of Ramadan. Now, when we come to this and we try to understand that there is a notion here which is misunderstood. By the way, it's not only misunderstood by people of other faiths or Orientalists, it's even misunderstood by Muslims when it comes to jihad. And then we have a very narrow understanding of jihad, and sometimes what we find is people speaking about a way of dealing with war, while by the way, war in the Islamic reference is qital. Jihad is a bigger notion than qital, which is armed resistance or armed conflict. Now, what we are talking about here is this understanding of jihad, which has nothing to do with holy war, for example. This is an alien, completely a notion which is alien to the Islamic tradition. What we have from an Islamic perspective is two things when it comes to jihad. First is resistance, and then you resist to your nature in order to reform yourself towards a more spiritual nature, a more spiritual stance. So this is where we have these two movements here, resisting and reforming. This is the notion of jihad, and it has many dimensions. In fact, the first time it appeared in the Quran, it had nothing to do with war. It has to do with intellectual jihad, intellectual resistance. لا تطيع الكافرين وجاهدهم به جهادا كبيرا. Don't obey the people who are negating the truth, and strive with the means of the Quran against them. Strive against them, or respond to them, or resist them by the means of the Quran. Meaning that the Quran is your weapon, your intellectual weapon, but not only, it's also your spiritual weapon, where you will get the spiritual strength in order to resist your own nature, to become a better spiritual human being. So while we are fasting, and you get this understanding, to fast is a type of jihad. It's jihad of fasting means I'm resisting my nature, where I naturally need to drink, naturally need to eat, or my body has needs and instincts. I'm resisting, controlling, and this is my resistance. To do what? To achieve something which is beyond that, which is the spiritual nature, reflecting, meditating, becoming a human being with a consciousness, with a conscience of what are the principles of life. So when we come to this, we understand that jihad is a very central notion of Islam. It has nothing to do with holy war. It has nothing to do with the simple understanding of effort. It has to do with a very dynamic process. And sometimes, when mainly it has to do with non-violence. Of course, it has to do with being non-violent with yourself in trying to reform yourself, with the people around you. And sometimes you find people who are ready to kill, who are ready to exploit. And then you have to understand that the dignity of human being is to resist the people who want to kill. And sometimes, because you have no choice, when they come with arms, you have to resist with arms. This is the last resort, but this is the very understanding of the human dignity from an Islamic viewpoint. Spread peace, stand for justice, and resist the oppressors by the best means you can. And sometimes you have to decide that their life is also something that you have to protect. Your life is something that you have to protect, and in the name of protection, there is sometimes war to be declared to the oppressors because they want to kill and you want to live a dignified life, inshallah. May Allah help us, and never forget to tell the people you love that you love them. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.